gorgeous. Welcome to High Vibe Honey for the week of the 27th of May, 2019. I'm Gala, darling, and I don't mean to scare the shit out of you, but the year is halfway over. So if you have been dilly-dallying, squandering your time, twiddling thy thumbs, this is the time to get your fucking ass in gear. When you get to the end of this year, what do you want to look back on and be like, I did that. I'm so excited. I made this change. I started this thing. I left this thing. What is it that you really want to do? Start getting clear about that and then start to take some action. And then when you go into 2020, whoa, holy shit. When we go into 2020, you'll look back on it and you'll be like, I closed that chapter out strong. And you can start today. So that's what I recommend. Now, before we get into the cards for the week and the tapping, well, firstly, let me tell you what the tapping is. The tapping this week is about raising your motherfucking standards. Yes, honey, hallelujah, can I get an amen? I'm so excited about this. This is something that has been coming up over and over again in the comments I receive from you guys, in the emails I get, the DMs I get, and this is something that I am also actively working on, this idea of raising our standards. So we no longer accept any trifling bullshit from people, and we no longer accept any trifling bullshit from ourselves. Because that's where it all starts. We teach other people how to treat us and what we will accept. So we have to raise our standards first if we want the people around us to treat us accordingly. So that's what we're tapping on this week, raising of the standards. And before we look at the cards and before we do the tapping, I have a couple of announcements to make. Number one, if you are in California, if you can get to Los Angeles in June, I want you to mark this date down on your calendar. June 26th is going to be super magical, super dope, super fun, and you're going to want to be there. So put that on your calendar, June 26th. And I have much more details coming about that soon, but I just wanted to save the date situation because I really don't want you to miss out on this, and I wanted to give you as much notice as possible. The second thing is for those of you who are in Europe or in the region or are thinking maybe I'll go to London this autumn. I am going to be in London in the autumn of this year. Late September, early October, I'm coming over. I'm going to do a couple of events and I'm so excited to come over. I have the best time when I'm in London. You guys are amazing. You show the fuck out for me and it feels so good to get you all together in a room. So I'm coming over to London. Again, as soon as I have really specific dates and details, you will be the first to know. What I would really recommend you do is there's two things. One is that you turn on my post notifications on Instagram so that as soon as I post something, you see it so you are able to act. Because this stuff sells out and there are no ticket sales at the door. And the second thing is to join my newsletter. The link is galadarling.com/newsletter. I send out an email every week and it's fun, it's cute. There's links to the latest videos, there's gratitude lists, there's beautiful art, there's all kinds of stuff in there to uplift you and make your week really fun. And I think you'll really enjoy it if you're not already subscribed. Let's look at these cards. This week we are using a whole new deck and it is the Crystal Unicorn Tarot by Pamela Chen. She was gracious enough to send us these and the art is really cute, really fun, and the read that we got off these is it's like, you know when Italians get really excited and they go, mwah! It's like that. It's that good. It's that good. So here we go with these cards. The first card that came up was the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands is a motherfucker who just gets shit done. And this follows on so beautifully from last week where I was telling you how important it is to delegate. The King of Wands is the delegation master. He's not usually the one who has the ideas. He's not usually the one who puts things into action. He's the guy who delegates. And the fact that this card has come up tells us that firstly, you can have anything that you want. Secondly, your manifestations are coming true with the quickness, and I'm sure you can feel that. And number three, in order to get to the place that you really want to get to, you have to delegate. You simply cannot take it all on yourself. So if last week's message did not light enough of a fire under your ass, I hope that this week's message will. The King of Wands is a card about leadership and vision. And whenever I think about vision, vision is so important, but it's one side of the coin. One side of the coin is vision, knowing what you want, knowing what it looks like, being excited about that, seeing it really clearly, and being prepared to go after it. And the second side of that coin is being able to discipline your mind so that you can go after these things and not derail yourself with shitty thoughts, with self-sabotage, with procrastination and fear, and I don't know how to do it, I don't know what to do next, blah, blah, blah. The answer is you do know. And anything that you don't know, you can Google, you can ask people, get on the fucking phone, babe. Like, there are no excuses. No matter what you want to do in your life, there is a way to make it happen. The King of Wands is like, babe, it's time, let's go. And I feel like a lot of you are really in the middle of a serious quest right now where you're creating good shit. This card is just like, duh. It's like the duh card. Yeah, obviously you're on a quest, but it just reminds you to be really thoughtful about what you're putting into your mind, what you're saying out loud, the kind of language you're using, and reminding you to delegate. Don't take it all on yourself. Who can you ask for help? There are people in your life who would love to help you. We often get tripped up with the idea of asking for help, and we think, I don't want to ask anybody, I don't want to burden anybody, everyone's so busy, I don't want to be the person they have to say no to. But the truth of the matter is that most people are thrilled to help other people. It makes them feel good. I love helping other people where I can. I love it. It makes me feel fantastic, and usually it's really easy. So don't feel shy about asking for help. It's actually one of the greatest gifts you can give other people is to allow them to help you. So please don't be shy about asking for assistance. It will make what you're doing so much stronger, and it will make them feel really good too. Our second card of the week is the Eight of Cups, and this can sometimes be a card of turmoil and difficulty, but I don't read it that way. I read this card as you're looking at something that you've put a lot of energy and time into, and you're like, you know what? This isn't worth it. This isn't worth my time and my energy and my worry. I don't want to be involved in this anymore. So the Eight of Cups tells us that it is time to face what's going on. A lot of people who have read about the law of attraction or manifesting get really freaked out about saying out loud the things that aren't working because they think that if I say this out loud, it's going to come true immediately and I'm going to speak some kind of tragedy into existence. But the truth of the matter is that we have to look at what's going on in our lives in order to face it and deal with it. So if I ever have a client and we're talking about a situation or a person and they say to me like, oh, it's cool, I've forgiven them. The fact that they've even brought that person up in our session means they haven't truly forgiven them. Or they may have forgiven them intellectually, but they haven't forgiven them emotionally. And there's still like a little hook in their heart about it. So we use tapping to remove, I think of them as emotional thorns in your side. That's the great thing about tapping. When we bring up the things that we're freaked out about or we're fearful about, we can bring them to the surface and we can literally extract them from your consciousness. That's why tapping is so great and why talk therapy can kind of just make your trauma bigger and badder because you're talking about it all the time. You're like entrenching it deeper all the time. So tapping is really effective for actually taking those things and removing them from the body so they have no emotional resonance anymore. So this card is about not being in denial. It's about facing the things that aren't working and then doing something about them. So you can look at the things in your life and be like, well, this really sucks, and then refuse to do anything about it. And obviously that's not going to help you. But if you look at something and you're like, fuck, this is really not what I want it to be, then create an action plan. Do some tapping around it. Go ask somebody what you should do next. Read a book. Do some Googling. Watch some YouTube videos. It doesn't matter what it is. There is a solution to every problem. So the Eight of Cups is like, okay, let's get real about what's going on. Let's get real about where we're putting our energy and where some of it may be being squandered right now. How can we be more powerful? and how do we move away from the things that are no longer working. And that's what this card is all about. It's about leaving something behind that is no longer fulfilling. And that's one of the reasons why the tapping this week is around raising our standards. It's so important that we raise our standards so we don't stay in those situations where we are wasting our time and our energy. We don't stay in those shitty relationships with abusive people. We don't stay in jobs that make us want to throw ourselves out the window. We don't keep eating sugar every single night until we feel bloated and sick to our stomachs. We do something about it. So that's what the Eight of Cups is to me. It's actually a really empowering card about looking clearly at what's in front of you, coming up with an action plan, and doing something about it. Our third card is the Lovers, and the Lovers hasn't come up in a long time for us, but I was really happy to see it because the Lovers in this situation is really about asking yourself, what is it that I stand for? And it's about coming to a place of peace and harmony around maybe two sides of your life that you've been juggling. And one of the biggest questions it asks us is, what are your standards and what is it that you stand for? What do you believe? What do you back? What is important to you? And it's really about just getting clear about who you are in the world, what your purpose is, and what it's all about. And we tapped on this last week. If you haven't seen last week's High Vibe Honey, we literally tapped on what is my life purpose. And the Lovers is really about that. It's like, who am I as a fully integrated being? What two sides of myself or my life could I bring into better harmony? What could I unite? What could I bring together? And what am I about? Why am I here? What do I stand for? And again, that's another reason why I thought, let's tap on raising our standards, because this is a very potent thing. It's coming up really clearly in the cards. It's coming up in the messages I'm getting from you guys. So let's tap on raising our standards. This is going to be so powerful. Oh, I cannot wait. By the way, if any of you have a connection at Perrier, I think it's time that we let them know what's going on here every week so that we can get some sponsorship. Anyway, drink some water and we will start tapping. All right, babe, we are going to use the karate chop point this week because we are cutting out some old shit. So let's start on the karate chop point. And if you've never done this with me before, it's that fleshy side of your hand along where your little finger is. You're just going to tap like this with the fingers on your dominant hand and repeat after me. Sometimes my standards are a bit low. Sometimes I don't ask for what I truly deserve. Sometimes I'm willing to accept crumbs. And that's something I want to stop doing. That's something I am going to stop doing. If I want to be my best self, if I want to be strong and powerful, I have to advocate for myself. I have to know what is acceptable and what will no longer do. Why should I give my time and attention to things that are truly not good enough? Why should I give my energy to situations that do not uplift me? Maybe it's because I have low self-esteem. Maybe it's because I believe what other people have told me. But I know that I am worth more. I know that I can do better. And so I am going to start raising my standards, starting with myself. Okay, let's go to the top of the head. And again, if you've never done this before, just follow me and tap on these points and repeat after me. It's really, really easy. My standards are too low. I admit it. My standards are just too low. I accept shitty behavior, both from myself and from the people around me. And that's kind of lame. Especially when I think about the people I really admire. If I conjure up someone I really admire in my mind right now, would they accept the kind of treatment that I accept? Would they be interested in hearing my excuses? Or my reasoning for why I am treating myself badly? Or why I allow other people to treat me badly? Fuck no, they would not. In fact, they'd probably be disgusted. I don't want to disgust my idols. I would want them to look at me and think, damn, she's a bad bitch. Look at the way that she stands up for herself. Look at the way that she advocates for herself. Look at the way that she doesn't apologize for her wants and desires. I want to be so great with my standards that I would inspire my idols to raise their standards too. And even though advocating for myself isn't always easy, and in fact, it's often really uncomfortable, I know that I need to go through a little bit of discomfort in order to change my life. Maybe next time I am advocating for myself, I will imagine my idol standing next to me. And I'll think, damn, I better not disappoint her. And then I will do the serious work of standing up for myself, of asking for what I want, and of doing what is truly right for me. I know that when I raise my own standards, when I start treating myself really well, and no longer making excuses, the people around me will start to treat me better too. I will stop saying yes to things I really want to say no to. I will start spending my time in a more productive, glorious way. And by the way, experiencing pleasure is productive. So I'm excited to go on this journey of raising my own standards, because I know that the ripple effect will be magnificent. So even though I've had low standards in the past, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. I accept where I am today. I love myself just as I am, unconditionally. And I forgive myself for having had low standards in the past. It's okay that I did that. But now it's time to do better. And so it is. Okay, deep breath in and hold it at the top and let it go. That was so great. Woo! I'm really excited to hear how this works for you, how this changes things in your life. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear. So your homework this week is to comment and tell us what standard you are going to raise in your own life. And here's the kicker. You are going to share this standard as if it has already happened. So the comment is going to say, I'm so grateful I raised my standards around X because now Y. And I'm dying to hear what you have to say. And I would love for you to go through and like other people's comments, reply to their comments, give them some love and support, because we all know that changing our behavior can be scary, can be challenging, can be uncomfortable. And the more support that we all know we're giving each other, the easier it'll be. And imagine all of us standing up around the world this coming week and advocating for ourselves really strongly, saying like, actually, I deserve this, or actually, I want this, or actually, no, that's not okay, or actually, you have to leave now. Oh my God. Like, wow, that's such a powerful wave of effect. And I mean, this is where it all starts. When you advocate for yourself, then everything shifts around you. It's like pushing the first domino. It's like dunk, 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 dunk. And you will be really amazed by how things change in your life and how quickly. So that's it for this week. I love you so much. Remember, mark down June 26th in Los Angeles if you can get here. And I will hopefully see a whole bunch of you European babes in London at the end of September/early October. I love you.